Hulk Hogan, the man, the myth, the bandana-wearing embodiment of 1980s Americana. He told kids to eat their vitamins and say their prayers, posed like a sunburnt Greek god, and slammed giants on the grandest stage of them all. But as it turns out, Hogan's greatest in-ring opponent may have been the truth. Let's not sugarcoat it. Hulk Hogan has told some absolute porky pies in his time. We're not talking about harmless fibs like pretending he didn't dye his mustache or exaggerating the size of his pythons. No, we're talking about lies so bold, so utterly bonkers, that they deserve their own wing in the Smithsonian. This isn't a hit piece. It's more of a guided tour through the funhouse mirror that is Hulk Hogan's relationship with reality. Think of it as a mix between a true crime doc and stand-up set, one where the criminal is nostalgia and the punchlines are dipped in bleach blonde delusion. Strap in, brother. We're about to leg drop 5 of the most ridiculous lies Hulk Hogan ever got caught telling. Let's kick things off with one of Hogan's most ear-splitting fibs. In a 2011 interview with The Sun, Hogan claimed he was nearly Metallica's bassist. I used to be a session musician before I was a wrestler, and I was good friends with Lars Olrich. I tried out for Metallica back in the day, but it didn't work out. Hulk Hogan, The Sun, 2011. Now let's break this down. Lars Ulrich, the actual drummer of Metallica, responded with the kind of confused energy reserved for someone being told they once dated Bigfoot. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I've never met him. Lars Ulrich, Howard Stern Show, 2012. This lie is so random it feels like Mad Libs. Replace Metallica with the Rolling Stones, and it still wouldn't make less sense. Was Hogan confusing Enter Sandman with I Am a Real American? Math is hard, especially when you're Hogan and your calendar apparently includes 34 months. He once claimed, not joking, that he wrestled 400 days in a single year thanks to wrestling in Japan and factoring in time zones. Well, during an interview with Austin, Hulk Hogan on the Stone Cold podcast, 2015 said, I was wrestling 400 days a year because I'd go to Japan and wrestle, come back to the US, and because of the time difference, I'd get 2 days in 1 day. To quote every math teacher ever, that's not how any of this works, and even Doctor Who thinks this is pushing it. Unless Hogan borrowed a TARDIS, there's no universe where he bent space-time to powerbomb a 4th dimension. If Hulk Hogan's storytelling was a wrestling match, the crowd would have thrown in the towel by the 3rd act. We've covered the early fibs, the I Passed on Metallica saga, and even his WWE-sanctioned time travel. But now we're down to the last 3 contenders, 3 lies that are less body slam and more soap opera. Buckle up, brother, because these ones may be the most bizarre of the bunch. Picture this. Darren Aronofsky, indie film legend, director of Requiem for a Dream and Black Swan, sits at his desk thinking, you know what this tragic, Oscar-bait story about a washed-up, emotionally broken pro wrestler needs? Hulk Hogan. That's the story Hogan would like you to believe. In multiple interviews, Hogan insisted that The Wrestler, yes, the critically acclaimed, soul-crushing drama that earned Mickey Rourke an Academy Award nomination, was originally offered to him. According to the Hulkster, he saw the script, felt it was too good, and turned it down to avoid being accused of ruining it with his limited acting chops. Only problem? Darren Aronofsky himself publicly and swiftly body-slammed the claim. In a crisp tweet, he wrote, for the record, the role of the wrestler was always for Mickey Rourke. It was never Hulk Hogan's, as he claims. Apparently, Aronofsky had no plans to cast the guy who made Suburban Commando, a film so bad even Mr. Nanny tried to distance itself. This wasn't just a white lie, it was a full-blown suplex of the truth. Mickey Rourke prepared for the role by hanging around independent wrestlers and living their struggles. Hogan prepared by reminiscing about leg drops and promotional appearances. It's like comparing Shakespeare in the Park to a car commercial. So, the verdict? Hogan wasn't considered, wasn't contacted, and wasn't remotely part of the film's casting plan. But hey, it makes for great fan fiction. You know those I partied with a rock star stories that people use to sound cool at barbecues? Hogan went full throttle and pulled out the heavy artillery. John Belushi. Yes, Saturday Night Live legend, Blues Brothers icon, and, according to Hogan, a guy he allegedly partied with during the wild days of the early 80s. There's just one small hiccup. John Belushi died on March 5th, 1982. At that exact time, Hogan was still primarily wrestling in Japan and hadn't yet returned to WWF for his big 1984 boom. According to the timeline, Belushi was already 6 feet under when Hogan was supposedly chugging beers and doing keg stands with him. The Sun and multiple wrestling trivia outlets have flagged this story as another fantasy from the Hogan mythos. They once wrote in an article, "He's known for untruths, such as being offered the lead role in The Wrestler, partying with John Belushi, who died in 1982, and wrestling 400 days in 1 year. Unless Hulk Hogan has a DeLorean stashed between his boas and protein shakes, there's no way he could have shared drinks with a man who was already deceased." The verdict? Belushi was dead. Hogan's credibility is on life support. Now, this one's not about Hollywood or ghost parties. It's about grills, and not the kind you throw on the back of a pickup. We're talking about the George Foreman grill, the sizzling, fat-draining countertop icon of early 2000s infomercials. Hogan claims he was supposed to be the face of it. According to Hogan, his agent had 2 products lined up, a grill and a blender. Hogan says he missed the phone call, so Foreman got the grill and Hulk was stuck with the blender, which promptly flopped like one of Hogan's straight-to-DVD films. Hulk Hogan quote coming up, as retold in countless interviews. "I got 2 products for you and George, the grill and the blender. I called you first, but you didn't answer." Sounds tragic, except there's no truth to it. The family of Michael Bohm, the grill's inventor, made it crystal clear. George Foreman was the only celebrity our dad approached about endorsing the grill. We don't know who started the story about Hulk Hogan being approached, but it isn't accurate. Even Business Insider, usually tame when it comes to wrestling lore, highlighted the urban legend aspect of Hogan's story. It's been repeated so often, even Shark Tank contestants cite it, but the source of it is always Hogan? This verdict? The only thing Hogan cooked up here was another tall tale. If Hulk Hogan's life story were any more fictional, it'd be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You know you're in trouble when your autobiography needs a fact checker and a Ouija board. Because Hogan doesn't just bend the truth, he DDTs it through a flaming table while cutting a promo on ghosts. Let's recap. According to Hulk, he turned down the role in The Wrestler, a film about a broken-down grappler clinging to the past. That's like declining a role in his own documentary. Then he said he partied with John Belushi, despite Belushi being more decomposed than Hogan's hairline at the time. And don't forget the George Foreman grill story, where apparently the only thing Hogan missed was the call that could have made him a billionaire. Instead, he got stuck with a blender no one bought, not even his own family. But wait, there's more. Hogan also claimed he wrestled 400 days in 1 year, thanks to flying back and forth over time zones. My man wrestled through a wormhole. Somebody call Christopher Nolan. He said he broke it to the Metallica audition, but Lars Olrich must have hit him with a cease and desist cord because that story crumbled faster than WCW's booking committee. Oh, and did you know Hogan pitched the idea for WrestleMania to Vince McMahon? Yep, forget the hundreds of people who actually worked on it. Turns out all they needed was Hulk, a napkin, and some crayons. And just when you think he can't top himself, Hogan once implied he was considered for the role of the Terminator. Imagine Arnold Schwarzenegger's iconic line delivered by Hogan, "I'll be back, brother," followed by a clothesline and a tanning bed. In the end, Hulk Hogan may have dropped the leg on Andre the Giant, but he also elbow dropped the concept of truth. He didn't just stretch the truth, he main evented WrestleMania with it, and somewhere out there the truth is still tapping out. Because when it comes to Hogan, you don't say, "I am a real American." You say, "I am a surreal historian." Thanks for watching.